on Black Friday, November 18th, PRXL.com. Scan the QR code or link down below.
Like one of my feedbacks on one of my competitions a few years ago was like, you have no upper chest. So I was like, from that day I only ever did anything incline. I was incline, and everything.
Alright, there. Yes.
I'm doing this with pure ego because Adam said I couldn't do it.
Yep. PR lifestyle is more than just hitting a PR in the squat, bench, or deadlift. A PR could be going a week without skipping a meal. It's about being the best version of yourself, always improving.
Come on, somebody out there sitting working harder than you. No! Oh! No! Somebody working harder! Hurry up! Let's go! Oh! Somebody gonna outwork you. Somebody outwork you right now.
You versus you.
Just asking Larry here, like, what's your goal at the moment? You're always working up to something like a PR or something like this. What's your next thing you have in mind?
So the plan now is to see what I'm capable of on TRT.
Right. Okay.
Since I'm 17, I've never tested my off-cycle squat, bench, deadlift max.
Okay.
Or any of my lifts in general. So go on cycle, play for competition, PR, go off, and then basically just do whatever I want in the gym, not worry about lifting heavy or in a PR, because I knew I didn't have this kind of mass in my body, so what's going to happen? But now I'm getting a bit older, still young, of course, only 27. But I have longevity in mind, getting married soon, I want children, and since I've already been doing this for 10 years, it's very unhealthy to try and break all-time world records in any strength sport. The amount of PEDs you need to use, the food you need to consume, the recovery necessary to get to the very, very top is very unhealthy.
Yeah, you're just running on all cylinders, aren't you, all the time? So.
Exactly, just foot to the floor, full throttle, and it's not sustainable. It is, when you're a teenager, when you're early 20s. I mean, I could even do it if I really want to another 5 years, I'm sure. Like, I'm still in my prime, but I don't want to wait until it's too late.
Yeah,
I want to be ahead of the curve.
It's a hard decision to make, right, mentally.
Absolutely.
And I guess this next challenge that you're doing now with yourself, doing it on a TRT dose, is going to be probably more mentally challenging because you've already hit certain numbers, right?
Absolutely.
So it's always probably that temptation to think, fuck, I used to hit X amount, and now I'm only hitting like 75-80% of that.
Right, but the pros are that I'm healthier, my skin's better, my sleep's better, my libido is healthier, my mood's stable. So there are a lot of pros, and the only con being I'm a bit smaller and a bit thinner. But it's not so dramatic where I'm doing half what I was doing before. My strength has come down between 10 and 20%, which is something I can live with. And I've only lost about 5 or 6 kg of muscle mass. And some will argue I look better now. I think many will argue that. There are some pros I look at in the past, like, wow, I look pretty fucking good right there. When I was taking more compounds. Now I'm on 175 mg a week of testosterone. Inject twice a week, sub-Q. And my TRT prescription is from Transcend, by the way, link down below. But I feel great, man, honestly. I feel better than I thought I would. Right. It was a really big step. I was really anxious because my brand is associated with hitting PRs. I'm known as the PR guy. So trying to break that mold, rebrand myself is challenging, but I think it's worth the challenge. The rewards will be well worth it. I can come out on top.
It's a big step, man. It's a big step, and I think you'll probably inspire a lot of other guys as well with what you're doing. It's a different approach that a lot of people have taken, I think, which is very nice. And there's a lot of pressure on younger guys as well.
Absolutely, right? A lot of pressure to perform and be at your very best, no matter what it takes, YOLO mentality. Right? And especially the younger you are, generally, the more invincible you're going to feel. And last thing I'll say about this on this note is who inspired me was Pete Rubish. He is a world record holding powerlifter. He was one of the ones who got me into the sport powerlifting, and he felt the pressure to constantly PR, to stay relevant, and to monetize his brand. And it wasn't until recently, a couple of years ago, did he come up with everything, including purity, nothing at all, no exogenous hormones. And now he's making more money than before. Everything is better. Everything has went to new heights, except, of course, his PRs. Everything outside of that has improved. And he was so anxious, like myself, about, well, I'm the PR guy.
Put a lot of pressure on yourself, don't you?
Exactly. Yeah, and not knowing how the fans will react, how your audience is going to perceive this, because you're so used to hearing everyone say, wow, you're super strong, you're super big, and, then being a bit more relatable while being a natty, right? And kind of not being a shot of your former self, but knowing that without these compounds, you'll never be where you used to be. That's a mentally.
The only way I can relate to that, I guess, would be like bodybuilding, when you're shredded all the time.
Right.
And then when you come out of that phase of being shredded, it's like pressure, then it's like, oh man, I used to be like 8-pack, like covered in veins, and then you go through a stage of being like a little bit softer. Nobody really notices that much, but in your head, you're like, you big it up a lot, and it's a lot of pressure to maintain this like shredded bodybuilder, fitness model image all the time. And then as soon as you come out of that condition, it's like, it's a lot of pressure to keep that look, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's very relatable because when you're bodybuilding, you see stuff in the mirror every day, and you are your own worst critic. Even myself, like I feel like my skin's thicker. I'm definitely really more body fat than I used to, and I feel I look healthier, but I still prefer the look I had when I was full. Everything was extra round.
As a man, you just do them. You just love it, man.
Bigger is better, right? Bigger is better. But this is a nice alternative. But that pressure to stay in the spotlight. If you're bodybuilding, right, the only real way today in the industry to make it lucrative is by having a strong social media presence.
Of course,
and by staying shredded, thick skin, veins popping everywhere. That's what people want to see. That's stuff that goes viral. That's what gets you the brand endorsements and everything. All right, ready to do a set?
You on rep numbers?
Sure. So in that case, I'd say do sets of 5 until...
We're building up to something. We're going to build up to what?
We're building up to, I believe, like 75 to 85% range.
Okay.
So maybe for you, that depends on when you're max.
Like maybe 180 is my max.
180 is your max, so then we could say somewhere around like 120 to 140.
Okay. Yeah, 140 is comfortable enough for me.
Yeah, it's like sets of 3, pause. Right?
Yeah.
Bring it back.
I've never arm wrestled properly, only like drunk in pubs and stuff. And I woke up this morning, man, my forearms are like, feeling at my forearms.
They look like a pump, honestly. They look fun. How'd you like it though? Did you care for it at all?
It was fun, yeah. It's just like learning something new. There's a lot more technique to it than I thought, actually.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
It's always fun, learning new shit like this.
Yeah, that's what's keeping me going. There's so many layers that you gotta peel.
Yeah. So I've moved away from just solely bodybuilding at the moment, just because it's just the same thing day in, day out, which you have to do to be good at bodybuilding. But I love just learning new stuff, man. Like, it's so addictive, so it's fun.
And the thing too is, if you're not trying to be the next Mr. Olympia,
That's it.
right?
Being realistic with myself.
Exactly. Same here. Like, I'm not going to be the very best bodybuilder, the very best strongman competitor, best arm wrestler. So I'm having fun doing a little bit of each.
Yeah, you need to do what makes you tick.
You can pull that behind.
I'll pull it back, yeah.
This one's green. Don't ask why, I don't know.
Never seen green chalk before.
Yeah, I don't know what the ideology behind that is.
Looks cool.
Yeah. Hulk blood, I guess, or Hulk cum.
Oh, cheers, yeah.
Hulk jizz, yeah.
never do flat bench.
Yeah, so would you...
Incline, I only ever do incline.
And that's the thing, you know, if I wasn't concerned about my 1 rep max or my strength with flat, I would never do flat.
Yeah.
I have a way overdeveloped lower chest, no upper. So.
Do you know, like, one of my feedbacks from one of my competitions a few years ago was like, you have no upper chest. So I was like, from that day, I only ever did anything incline. I was incline, everything.
And then balance out, 'cause it looks like you got a pretty tough lower chest now.
Yeah. Can you wear straps or anything with?
Oh yeah.
With certain federations or something, is it? Or?
You can use wrist wraps in every federation.
Oh, okay.
You just can't use elbow wraps or elbow sleeves.
Right, it gives you a bit of spring.
It does, especially the wraps. The sleeves, I'd argue, doesn't help at all with any elasticity, any spring, just some joint support.
Right.
But the wraps definitely help. I'd say as much as 5%. Maybe 10 depending which ones they are. Right. I think we're... Do you follow a program for training or do you wing it?
Never.
Never, dude.
No,
Wow.
I've never done any strength training really. I'm always like real high reps.
Like 10 to 10, 15, 20?
Yeah.
What about for bodybuilding? Did you ever follow some kind of... Did you ever have a coach?
Only my own stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I had a coach with nutrition and supplements and stuff like that, but never training. Always just do what I feel like doing, to be honest.
Fair enough, but I've definitely...
I structure it to a degree, but I've never had anybody actually cover it for me, no.
Because I'd say once I started working with a coach, which was very early, at 19,
Right, okay.
I just skyrocketed.
Yeah.
You know, to harness all of my potential.
Yeah.
But try sometime for sure.
I should do,
Yeah, definitely, man.
If I get back into bodybuilding, I don't know if I will or not.
Fair enough.
Exploring different areas at the moment, but if I go back into it, it's an investment, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. But if you're doing martial arts, if you're doing Muay Thai, you have a coach there.
I have a coach there, of
Yeah.
course, Just go in and start swinging around.
Imagine.
So when you do a pause,
Yeah.
would you just like 1, 2?
Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah.
Just so you don't like bounce it off, yeah?
Exactly. Just so it's from a dead start, that's all. Okay. Yes. Easy. Yep. Yes. Alright, easy peasy. You can think of this as like a thorough warm-up for our 8 rep max we're gonna do right after this.
8 rep max?
Yeah, so 8 rep max meaning you'll go for 8 reps, but try and leave like 1 or 2 in the tank, so just shy of failure. And training, we never want to miss reps. That's the approach my coach and I always have, so that when you're going into competition, you're confident. You know training went flawlessly, you didn't miss a single rep, you're on point.
You don't train to failure then?
Yeah, you're training just shy of failure. So if you think, well, I maybe have 1 more, you stop.
Right, okay.
You know? When you're pumping,
Bodybuilding is different.
what's that? Yeah, bodybuilding, the total opposite. If you're not training to failure, you're not working hard enough. Each set will increase like a 5 kg.
140 from
That means you'll do 140, yeah.
So with your
10 kg.
bench program,
Yeah.
do you have days where you go like different reps, different weights?
Exactly. Every week, it's different sets, different reps, but the core movement, the core combat movement stays the same.
Right.
It just may be a slightly altered variation of it. So, for example, on deadlifts, maybe the first couple weeks, or the first week even, is standard, then the next week might be off a deficit, off a block. Same thing for bench. 1 week might be with bands, with chains,
Do you do any
board press.
like accessory work for bench, like any tricep work or anything like that?
I do. I'm supposed to.
Oh, okay.
I'm supposed to, but because I'm collaborating generally with someone every single workout, to make the content a bit more interesting, so it's not the same thing every single time, right? Because it gets a bit monotonous. Because that's what a good program looks like. It's repetition. It's not trying something different every single time. Like mastery. So my accessories will be related to prime movers for the bench press, like shoulders, tricep. But when I've hit my biggest PRs on squat, bench, deadlift, I find that a lot of the time I would literally just do that, the squat, bench, deadlift.
If you want to get stronger at a movement, you just do the movement, right?
Yeah, do variations of that movement, and that's what I felt got me better at that movement. I don't strongly believe in the accessories to make any real difference to my SBD. Maybe they did, but a lot of times I'd skip them because I'd be so exhausted after my working sets with the SBD that I would just go home afterwards. I'd have an hour probably doing like 9 sets of 2 or 3 reps with squats, and then, well, you got to do exactly. And then you say we got to do belt squats, and you got to do this, you got to do that. By that time, I was like, okay, I'm exhausted. Go home, and it works, right? So I still made huge progress. So that's why I'm not personally not a strong believer in accessories, unless it's like variations of the same movement you're trying to.
I guess you've got a lot of
different
backgrounds, different types of lifting, different types of training. You've got bodybuilding background as well over you as well. So I guess perhaps the accessory movements you've probably done anyway before, rather than someone who's getting into the sport new.
Right.
Maybe they'd have to do the accessory work or something.
Exactly. Right. But my background is was bodybuilding for several years. Then I transitioned.
Yeah. So you've got the accessory stuff kind of built in, I'd say.
Yeah.
3 reps, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Is there a certain weight I should be coming up, like height? I don't lock my elbows up.
So I find it best just for training, minimal time with attention. So when I unrack it, I don't fully extend my elbows, right? I kind of keep them slightly bent and go straight down.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Perfect. You know, for example, when you're at a competition, when you unrack it, you do have to lock your elbows first. Okay. And every second you're holding your 1 max above you is costing you strength. So you want that. You want to bring it down as quickly as possible. As far as like, that's what I mean with time and attention, that the more you're holding over you, it's going to be exhausting you. With training though, if I'm not training for a competition, like I'm doing a mock meet, and I'm not all that concerned about doing it to a competition standard to the tier that was in the past, because my mock meet isn't at a real competition.
So you want to minimize the time.
Yeah, exactly. So it lets me get through more working sets. Also being on TRT, my recovery between sets isn't as good as it used to be. But with that said, I'm very early out. So as I get, I'd say about 2 weeks out from my mock meet day, I will have those sessions be deliberately holding at the top, you know. And any world record bench presser, like Kirill Sarajev, for example, or Julius, you'll see when they unrack it, they'll just hold it here for a couple of seconds because that's mimicking what you have to do in competition. You know, because they won't let you just go straight down like you did just now from the rack without locking your elbows first. So just like creating how you play. But I'm so far out still that I just want to get a couple more reps in, feel a bit more comfortable. Yeah. We've done probably with 8 sets, and still nothing, no problem. Only 1, 2, 3 reps. Yep. All right, there. Yes. Yes? Yep.
Normal person wouldn't, people who don't train that much wouldn't realise how much has to go on between your traps and your lats to stabilise that chest movement, right?
That's why there is one accessory I really believe in for the bench, and that'd be T-bar rows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to strengthen that foundation for stabilizing the weight. I think those are super good. On Black Friday, November 18th, PLXL.com. Scan the QR code or link down below. Watch you on the bench. Especially just yesterday. I have a big problem with arm wrestling and bench press, so I have to use these. My inflammation here is terrible.
That's why I feel it actually exactly there, yeah.
Racket. Yep, good. Perfect. Yes, stay in that groove. Yes, in that groove. 5. Push! Yep. Yes. Yes. Finish it. Perfect. Nice. Well done.
Yeah, felt good.
Look good.
Mega springy.
Right? It's definitely elasticity helps you get maybe another 5-10%.
Yeah, nice.
Especially if you have pain in that area, or your elbows.
Come on, come on.
Feeling it yet or not yet?
What's that?
Feeling it yet? A little
Yeah,
bit?
it was a big jump actually, yeah. I'm doing this for pure ego because Adam said I couldn't do it.
That's all it takes. We're all ego driven. Oh yeah. I think Adam would be impressed. Yes. So you could probably do 5 plates on any other machine in here, right? More than likely.
What's that, sorry?
You could probably do 5 of these on like any other machine.
Oh, really?
On you.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Right. Like here, 3 and a 10, 4 plates is like 5, 6 plates on another machine.
It felt heavy. Bumper plate it up.
Yeah, there's way too much space there left. So on this set, I'll ask you the drop set.
Okay.
Just strip it down to 1, like 1 at a time. I'll do the same for you. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That sucks. He drops that.
See if I can get 1 with the 10 on.
Definitely. I think you got at least 3. Let's go. Yep. Yes. Oh yeah. Good, my guy. Okay. Yep. Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's it.
Nice. go. Sit. Yep. Nice. Yes. Yes. Crank him out. Problem. Oh yeah, good pump. Now we're pumped. Now we're pumped. You like for up the chest.
What I usually do, I'll do an incline fly to start off, and I'll go into incline bench. So I usually do like a dumbbell bar machine.
Okay.
I don't know how fatigued I get. So I always think, I always like to do this stuff last. I'm more fatigued, but to be honest, I just use the incline bench and machine for upper. I like to do landmine press a lot.
Oh, okay.
Good if you have that in here.
So we would use 20s, but they won't fit if I load this to the ground. There's no clearance. Probably for you too, so. Too easy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, way too easy. Still too light. Gotta find a way to make it more challenging. Beautiful. All right. Stretch wide open. Okay. Don't need more weight.
I was going to say that's pretty. If you're struggling, then.
Oh yeah.
That's wide, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's
Oh,
gonna,
actually, that's why
it's gonna stretch the shit out.
I get a running start.
Train smarter, not harder, right? Did you start weightlifting back when you were in the Marines? Or did you start afterwards?
I started young.
Okay, before that.
Yeah, so I used to box when I was a kid, from like 13 to 16. So it kind of got me into training. We used to do a little bit of weights in there, but I just kind of got more into lifting heavy stuff.
Yeah.
So I started weightlifting before in the Marines.
Okay.
And in the Marines, they just totally take it out. It's all just body weight conditioning. And you're so exhausted all the time, you don't want to do anything extra.
Fair enough. I can see that.
Kind of about 20 years old, just got back into it again.
And now you're 29, so 9 years in.
Yeah.
With weight training.
5 years bodybuilding, like taking it seriously. Go to the gym on a Friday afternoon to go out on a Friday night. You know,
I know the motivation there. Yeah.
No leg training.
I hear that.
Arms and chest, fuck the rest.
That's very relatable. That's split. We are wrapping up today's chest session. Awesome bench workout. How did you think of it? With the strength training?
It was very different from what I'm used to. Less volume, so no pumps to start off with, and just the speed of it and stuff like that. And low volume, faster reps, more weight. It was good actually. I learned a lot from that. Thank you.
Oh yeah, hey, my pleasure. And as you guys know, if you want to follow his journey, scan the QR code or link down below. You've been in Dubai now about 6 years, right?
Yeah, just over 6 years, yeah.
So if you want to see more of him, he's not going nowhere. Again, scan the code, link down below. And Black Friday sale, November 18th, just a couple days. Please support the brand. We got camera wraps dropping, wrist and elbow, all different colors. We'll see you then. On another note, I will be doing my mock meet in about 6 weeks, and I will be testing all of my TRT 100 maxes, squat, bench, and deadlift. So please stay tuned for that. We'll see you guys very soon.